Has a saying, how they say no rest for the weary. He says no rest for the wicked. I think that's more correct. I think Dad's is more correct. No rest for the wicked, because in the Book of Revelation it says we'll have rest because we won't be living wicked. But the weary, it says no, we'll have rest. So there is rest for the weary. There's just not rest for the wicked. The wicked are always plotting. They're always competing. They've always got a new idea, a new plan that's going to save us from everybody else that's wicked's evil plan. Right? Watch them. They're horrible. Right? They're absolutely hideous. And last night on 2020, they had these 4 young men whose life were destroyed when they were 17 because they were accused of a murder in a yogurt shop back in 1991. Right? And they had the place come in to have a moment of silence for everything, and he put on a show, and one kid from the district attorney's, I'm really sorry about anything we have to do with this. So why aren't you living the Lord's Prayer? You're not sorry at all. You're just putting on a public show that next time you'll be sweeter. We get it, Angie Bofield. I like Angie Bofield. I don't like listening to fuckers like that on TV. No rest for the wicked. Here we go again. And last night, the lettuce in my salad was not good because I'm used to eating stuff, to making it last and stuff, because I'm an economic burden on everybody because I don't make money, because I'm abused by all the perverts on TV going, we're really sorry, but you won't live the Lord's Prayer. But we're really sorry, but you won't live the Lord's Prayer, right? And then last night on the news, they have this thing about, Donald Trump sat there and told this guy, Tony Gonzalez, he's a great person. Okay, all of you who've never cheated on your wife, this is what I told everybody about Bill Clinton and George Bush. All of you that have never cheated on your girlfriend, your spouse, or your wife, you don't get to vote for president. The only person you can vote for president, okay, is the one who hasn't cheated on their wife. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. Who's running for president on the other side? We don't know. Okay. But I remember telling that to him. I said, you guys, the only one here that hasn't ever cheated on any of their significant others is me, and I'm voting for Clinton, right? Because I like his policies better. I don't trust the head of the CIA. He's full of shit, right? He's the head of the CIA, right? And so, I don't trust him a lick, right? And so we had him for 4 years, and we got deployed running out, cleaning up all his messes, sent out to, drop bombs and mass murder the people of his political rivals so he can stay in power, So he's a shitty person. I thought Clinton would be better because he's from a trailer park in Arkansas like all of us, right? He wasn't. He was and then when he was in and all the shit he did, Paula Jones case, I was, they need to impeach that motherfucker. He lied to me. He let me down. It's like, NSI, give Squirt the right way to go and see what he does. Okay. Proud of you. You did a good job. You're like John Fitzgerald Kennedy. You're like Robert Kennedy. No. He's Lyndon Baines Johnson. Bastards, you let me down, right? And it's the truth. Let my mother down. My mom was all excited. Al Gore, one of the greatest people on the planet. Mommy's got like 7 houses and said we should all build John Denver greenhouses and Dennis Weaver houses. And he don't live in one that's a Dennis Weaver house. And all his 7 houses are big opulent mansions and don't have a greenhouse. If they do have a greenhouse, he has servants, he has gardeners he pays to do it. He's a great man. Al Gore. He's a great man. Didn't he go to Vanderbilt? Yeah. The house that Vander built? Vander. I thought it was Xander. No, that's Josh Whedon. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm confused. So they have this thing about this talk, and they sit there and they talk about this horrid story of this Tony Gonzalez young man, right? Who's in political shenanigans and totally, just fucked in the head by all of it. And he has this affair with this woman who killed herself because her husband was having an affair, and the husband found her having an affair with him. And it's like, okay, why would you kill yourself because your husband's having an affair on you when you're who's making love to your old lady while you're out making love? It doesn't make any sense. while she lit herself on fire. Okay. It makes no sense whatsoever. Unless, of course, she was losing her mind because we can program them like we're programming a video game. And we can't get them to do anything they don't want to do, right? That's the only thing that makes any sense. It was really bizarre. Well, it doesn't make sense at all. None of it makes any sense. But you're like sitting there looking at it, it's like, well, you were having sexual contacts, that's like Amy setting herself on fire because I started having sex with the librarian like she accused me of when I was talking to Patrick at the library in Cochise County. Came home all excited, and you're having an affair with the librarian. It's like, no, I'm not going to tell you because you're mean about everything I do with Patrick and screw it up. But no, I'm at the at the library emailing Patrick and talking to Patrick because I was all excited. I hadn't talked to him in years. And we every time we do, we pick up right where we're left off. Then what happens? We can't get them to do nothing they don't want to do, and we can program them like we're programming a video game. And I can sit and talk to him this way, and he still gets emotionally shifted and says, I know your mother. And so, and then I get mad at him because I'm like, you sit there and say, why Amy? And you protected Natalie just as vehemently as I did, if not more. And you love Noah, and you love Kate, and you love Emily. I mean, what the fuck, Who else was going to raise that woman's kids with bar hoppers if not for me? Elijah, Jeremiah, it's all through the Bible, right? The only chance these kids have is if someone comes along and teaches them love and discipline and caring and kindness and responsibility. Otherwise, these kids are screwed. And that's what Barbara Rose Fabry told me. She goes, no, Natalie and Noah, they would have been, these kids would have been, if it wasn't for you, these kids would have been completely lost. Like, wow. And then what happened? Then I went online trying to get the military to stop being the dogs for the trained dog murderers they were, and mind manipulators they are for the billionaires. And all the wheels came off. It's like, oh, son of a bitch. When you're not the center of attention, you're not the focus of attention, people can focus and go, he's right, you're wrong. Admit it and be right. Okay. But when when you're one of the central focuses of attentions, anonymously even, and all the focus of attention you're aware of from these murdering dogs, trained murdering dogs for the billionaires, for them to remain billionaires, it's just totally fucked, right? I didn't know. I'm not a trained dog. I wouldn't be a trained dog for billionaires, and I'm not a billionaire. So my brain doesn't work like theirs. And so they always go, well, he's Asperger's, he's savant, he's got mental and emotional disability, he's Rain Man, he's Kim Peek. Are you fucking serious? I saw videos on Kim Peek. Right? He's a mathematical savant. I'm nothing like Kim Peek. I'm nothing like Stephen Hawking. I'm nothing like Sheldon. I'm nothing like Howard. I'm nothing like Raj. I'm nothing like Leonard. Okay. I can have very intelligent, coherent conversations with people. Okay. And it still turns out like Penny's and Leonard's conversations on the Big Bang Theory. It's like, what? Adria at the library, We sat and talked about things. I said, well, he's probably just having trouble because of this and that with her son. And she was a little hard on him. I was like, he's not a bad kid. He just, he's always, what the cool thing is he comes in and he asks you every time before something. He's, he's very respectful to you. And he's very, apparently that Muslim man you were dating did a good job on, hey, you respect your mom. Hey, Yeah. So I'm impressed with the little guy, right? She was shaded to, well, this and that men are like this. And that's not true. Not all men are the same. Okay. We just have certain reactions to certain things because of our biological, here and here, below the waist and the way the brain works. But we're not all the same, The people that wrote that song for Baseline are full of shit. Every man's the same. He wants to say that's not true. Okay. Especially if you're a really good person and you end up in Cochise County with all the not really good people trying to prove that you're just as bad as they are. It's like, no, it's not true. They're full of shit, man. You're sitting there. Ew. And last night with that lettuce and stuff, boy, I was like, oh God, man, because I agitated my mash or Nash, whatever, when I was working yesterday when the rake kind of fell over and I bent over and it was like, oh, and I thought, oh shit, did I rupture something or whatever? No, it was the lettuce. Suzuki's calmly trying to talk me through it. Me and Jesus are talking. I'm like, man, I'm just telling Jesus, This really hurts. It feels like this thing's ruptured or something. I'm going to die, right? So they're killing this. I may not make it through this night because I'm trying to sit on the toilet and nothing's coming out the south end or north end, right? And it's just pain, right? And so I drink water and stuff. So finally comes in, and Jesus is sitting there. It's going to be okay, and I'm like, well, yeah, even if I die, it's going to be okay. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. I'm not God, right? So I'm okay. I'm not, I love you. Thank you for helping me. I'm sorry. I feel like I let you down because, I haven't done what I was supposed to do. This is more die trying than it's going to take away all my sin if something ruptured and I die tonight. So like, this feels really painful. It's just not fun. I was like, whoa, I could not, and I thought, well, if I can just lay down and rest and maybe it'll ease up, because I'm that type of person. I'm the type of person, okay, you're in pain, but just lay down and just let the body recover. So finally, Suzuki, grab bowl, get the thing just in case, you don't have to clean up all the mess while you're feeling sick. That's even worse. So I'm like, if there is, if it comes out the north end, right? So I'm sitting there and I get some water and I drink it. And then he just sits there and looks at me, he goes, no. He goes, no, you're going to recover. I had the phone plugged in, charging, right? You're going to recover. Okay. That's what he tells me. You're going to recover. So I go, okay. And then I just lay there and try to get comfortable. And it was hard, but finally I got to the point where I just, fuck it. Yeah. Just get comfortable. So I'm going to recover. So no, you tell your body what you're going to do. You're going to recover. Okay. So I told my body, okay, body, we're going to recover. And so I slept, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, got up to go to the bathroom. So, wow, I feel a lot better. I didn't think I was going to feel this way at all tonight. And I said, yeah, it's okay. We got this. And 5, same thing. So I slept, and then some walkers went by at about 8:30. I heard them talking. I thought it might have been some of my sisters. I wasn't sure. I went, oh, no, I didn't get hardly any sleep last night. I'm not feeling too good. I'm not in the mood for company right now. Right? Right. So I sat there and I laid down and I thought, okay. I got up and said, well, I do need to get up and let Betsy out and turn off the outdoor lights next door. And I grabbed my stuff for my laundry and put on the 2 loads of laundry I'd intended on doing, which I'm doing right now. And yeah, I don't know. Your technology must not work very well. Or if it does work, it's just meant to manipulate and expose each other and abuse each other and not in any way, shape, or form help each other not, engage in the same mistakes you did yesterday. That was horrid watching that 2020 last night. I was like, oh, this is terrible. These people suck. You're not sorry. If you were sorry, you'd live the Lord's Prayer. So these kind of situations wouldn't happen again. The police wouldn't be compelled to keep their jobs for money that they're addicted to because it's a dopamine and adrenaline rush, right? Now, you eliminate conflict and competition over money. Parents, you're going to have a lot less sex text from one person to another through a phone for economics and economic security and economic surveillance and economic opportunities. Okay. Pandora's box is already open. And you're not going to be able to take these things away. Okay. It's discipline. And that's what I got this morning. And I was like, I don't, this fasting thing, I'll do as much as I can, but this is wrong. And Jesus is like, yeah. And Muhammad and Jesus are explaining to me the real truth and the real meaning of fasting. So why'd you do it? To show undisciplined, I can do anything I want, and addicted adults how not to pass this on to children. Okay. So you take needs. This is what I need to live. And I can discipline myself to not have it. Okay. So if I can discipline myself fasting from food and all that stuff, you can discipline yourself fasting from drugs, alcohol, manipulating people's sex to feel powerful, manipulating people with idolatry. So, that's what fasting's all about. I'm like, why do I have to do this? Because the people studying you are extremist assholes trying to teach you a lesson. They're always fucking doing that. They're teaching me lessons. They're teaching me lessons. What's the lessons they're teaching you, Earl? That they're egomaniacs, that their technology reflects their brain, which we've been talking about. I'm a hustler, baby, for it feels like eons. It is. Okay. Shit. I'm tired. I'm Madeline Kahn. Face it, everything from the waist down is kaputsk, So I'm tired, and I'm very tired. And I'm, it's weird. I've got Max and Emmy's mom in my head right now, really strong, because I swear she's Chunk. No, she's Chunk. She's Chunk. You remember Chunk from from Goonies? She really is. And then I got some stuff yesterday, and they were attacking me mentally in the barn while I was listening to the videos and shooting hoops, and I'm getting, Chunk's mom, I'm trying my best. Don't be mad. Don't be mean to me. I get that a lot with her, You don't care about yourself. You don't care if you live or die. It's like, of course I care if I live or die. Life's a precious gift from the glory of God, not a manipulation lab experiment from your business partner, asshole. I care if I live or die. Trust me. I'm not concerned with what they're doing, because obviously at this point in time, because where technology is out, there's not much I can do to get the technology to reflect me and act like me as opposed to them. But I do care. Don't think I don't care. The whole reason I'm doing everything I do is because of how much I care. Okay. It just doesn't seem like it because I'm the strongest man on the planet right now. Quite possibly it's not plugged into a supercomputer or a quantum computing system, that they've linked them or whatever, to try to control the people that, because once a computer system gets better, if it has any connection or link to a person that's better than the people that invented the computer, they have to find mechanisms and means to contain and, Why would they have someone like Judah Krishnamurti or Haile Selassie or D.T. Suzuki plugged to a computer? To manage the rabble and the masses, to keep them under control. Not to keep them docile, but to give them an aspect of humanity that makes them not want to get up and destroy everybody and themselves in the process, murder, suicide. Yeah. That's why they would have someone like myself or them plugged into a computer. The one thing in the world that keeps the military knows it. Politicians know it. Donald Trump knows it. Okay. The one thing that keeps him safest from all his enemies is the guy with the Samsung Galaxy 10 in the guest house just north of San Ysidro. Well, trust me, he knows it. It's like Nebuchadnezzar and Pharaoh. I have Joseph. I have liver. Please deliver. That's what they feel like. They feel powerful because they have me. Made Joe Biden. That's why I tell Dad, Joe Biden's not as bad as you think he is. It made Joe Biden lose his mind. He lost his mind. He's a yes man and he's a putz. Okay, but at least he feels guilty or bad about it. Obama, I don't know if Obama knows what it's like to, when you go and all the, no, because, he needs to get himself together and he needs to mature. Okay, because, Polynesian guys, beat me up and hurt me on the basketball court because they were jealous of me. Well, they probably thought I was Mexican because I sure looked Mexican. Everybody thought I was Mexican. The only thing I ever used to get from Mexicans is he plays like a joton, jugar like a joton negro. I play basketball like a faggot nigger because the way I do my wrist and my hands when I shoot and I dribble. And so he plays like he's good, but he plays like a faggot nigger. And, the white guys all said that too. He plays like a faggot nigger or a joton negro. That's what I always got told. That's when I knew I was really good. It's like, I play like a faggot nigger? Wow. A lot of, because your wrists are, and your shooting hand and the way you dribble. And so, yeah, almost all the good ball players I saw did that, 'cause I play like Gus Williams. So every time they said that, he plays like a joton negro, he plays like a faggot nigger, I was like, damn, I'm smooth and I'm sweet and I'm sexy. I'm Mexican caramel chocolate with the salted caramel in it. Ooh, yeah. I'm so good. That boy think he bad. That's what all the black folks said. That boy think he bad, which was a huge compliment. Because if you're out there doing stuff, and you're dancing like the black folks is dancing, and they say that boy think he bad, you're like, damn, thank you, you're welcome. Okay. Me, I would just sit there. You're a really good ball player, man. That was a lot of fun. Thanks. That's what I would say. That guy can ball. So even if they were unorthodox, okay, like the little kiddo from South Dakota against Eastern yesterday with Doc and Jody. They were sitting there talking. They said, this kid's good. He's really smooth. He's kind of unorthodox, but he makes it work. I mean, he can get you in the mid-range. He can get you underneath. He's a good rebounder. He's 6'6". He's going up against, he's in their post position. He's going up against guys that are 6'9" with longer arm, but he's just good. I was watching him. Yeah, he's a basketball player. The other kid, that McKissick or whatever, the kid from Colorado Springs who plays at West Texas, yeah, he's good too. Yeah, he's got that too. He's got that. He just goes and goes and goes. A lot of these kids, the little white kids in the Lone Star, you look at them, and they're not the quote unquote most athletic, but man, a lot of them are really good ball players. They're fun to watch. It's fun to go to the game. They're like, wow, this is pretty good. They're good ball players, and it's been fun. And they've got a lot of very good not white ball players. They're really good and stuff, but some of them it's taken a while. Ed keeps talking about that with Isaiah Brody, but it's like, it does come and go, and against certain kinds of forms of competition, he loses confidence, and he's probably it's like I told Tavion Rogers, when I watched him practice, said, you need to tell him, one of his coaches, you need to tell him that you're the best ball player on the field and on the team. Everybody knows it but you. And that's not going to work, right? So you got to know it. Not be cocky, but just know it, that you need to go out there. You need to be confident in yourself. You need to be formed to help, because you're the best. You're one of the most talented players on the team. And you're going to help that level of, you're going to help them, level up and be able to compete. It sure showed against Fresno State, didn't it? So, yeah. And so, and so you have to, sometimes you have to let kids know, it's okay to be confident. It's okay to be confident. It's okay to be good at things you do. And it's okay to look good and feel good doing it, because we're living the ways of King David, King Solomon, and Lord Jesus, and the Rose of Mecca and stuff. But right now we're not doing that. So I don't believe any of you assholes on TV when you're crying and putting on a show for the camera. Peg, we'll come back to you, right? So the only way to stop that little girl from setting herself on fire is for you to all stand up for the Lord's Prayer. But you all just want to blame Mr. Gonzalez for everybody's brain chemical addiction, right? That's pretty fucked up to do. Splinter in the plank, huh? Yeah. You guys suck at it. I didn't want it to ever happen. I've been trying to get you guys to live the Lord's Prayer since I started posting on social media by 2009, right? That wouldn't have been able to... probably would have saved that one little girl's daddy's life, because that was 2009. We would have gone through and forgive debt and trespass, love, eternal, fulfill peace. They would have gone through and corrected a lot of the things and done the rehab things, and they would okay. They didn't have enough, obviously they didn't have enough evidence to convict them the way they did, because all the evidence that they had to prove that the other guy did it was overwhelming, and so they had very little to no real evidence that the other 4 kids did it. What are you guys smoking in Texas? You don't have legalized marijuana. What the fuck's wrong with you, man? Ken Paxton's too weird. And it's his own party that's saying what a bad person Paxton is and how creepy and wacky he is. It's his own people. It's like they should look at it and say, well, he donated money to this place in Austin, and the place in Austin used the money to do the exact opposite of what he gave the money to. And that was kind of like a real slap in the face, but that's politics. So forgive debt and trespass, love, on eternal, faithful peace. I bet you have a lot of people saying you should get yourself sexually altered so you can't reproduce, so all the rich people could possibly clone and have a better style, a better quality of life, mass murdering people over money to have sex in resort areas. Yeah, that's probably a yeah. That's okay. That's already happening. I'm taking care of it. You know me. I'm the man. So you know what I'm saying. So um, anytime he's a living correction. It's that just might be a proper term applied towards Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. He's a living correction. Yeah, I would say Messiah. Yeah, I think the Messiah is a living correction. Whoever said that's a good assessment. Whoever assesses hated that I'm not. Oh, don't try to take credit for it, Mrs. Max and Emmy's mommy. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know who said it. I'm getting more people locally. But I love you guys very much. Oh, you don't want to take credit. You just want to do right. And then everybody know, hey, it feels good to do right. And we rest. There you go. Good thing. Rest. How can you rest in peace? Live the Lord's Prayer to deliver yourself from evil and then sustain it with Psalms and Proverbs. Every major, quote, religion in the world can agree with that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What a correction. All right. I love you guys, man. All right. We'll talk later, man. Peace out.